a new episode of Double Overtime Radio. I am Tim Gardner, along with Mr. Paul Byer, and I'll tell you what, guys, I am excited. We're 11 days away from the New York trip for the Super Bowl. I'll tell you what, right now, 11 days cannot get here soon enough, because the fact is, 11 days away, guys, you could be looking at your first championship since 1979, when the Sonics won it back in 1979. Mr. Paul Byer, how you doing tonight, sir?
Dude, I am so excited, Tim. I'm literally hours away from just going to the Winnebago shop and getting the RV and then loading that thing up and moving, meandering all the way out to the Meadowlands and doing this thing right, because this is going to be one of the most epic, not only epic Super Bowls of all time in general, but this is going to be a absolute moment in time for the city of Seattle. I cannot wait. I am so pumped. Life is good.
Life is great, and tonight's show is going to be a packed show. We've got a lot. We've got 3 guests on tonight. We've got, you name it, we got it going on. We got a rant segment tonight. There's so many great things going on tonight. First and foremost, I want to actually announce our guest list that we have tonight. Also, Pamela, Sport Diva Michelle, is actually going to take part in the rant segment tonight, and of course, she's going to be actually answering our questions tonight, of course, about the NFL and the rule changes, of course, coming up next week with the Super Bowl too as well. And of course, last but not least, we're saving this. And Paul, go ahead and shed light to our audience about this. I'm going to go ahead and introduce this, but we got Jake Rudenbauer, from the East Lake Community Church, and go ahead and shed light about Jake. About the videos that it's been a phenomenon on YouTube. Go ahead and allude to that.
Yeah, well, basically, a year ago during the Atlanta Falcons, right after the game against the Redskins in the playoffs, this group, East Lake Community Church, came out with this really funny take on a Justin Bieber song. It was called Beast Mode and Coach Pete. It was really funny, very wittily put together. And Jake is the rapper of the group. He's kind of the star in the videos, if you remember him with the beard. And it's really a really funny, smart take on a couple of these parody songs, but filling it in all with Seahawks stuff. And they did that video, and then they did another video after, actually before this season, in regards to the Falcons in that game and losing the game, and then kind of setting up this season. And then they just got another video coming out this Friday called Winner, and we got a little sneak peek of it. It's in our clip, so we're excited to be able to play that and share that with all of you. And they've got these videos just filling it up on YouTube. This is a real big group, and they do some really fun stuff, and excited to hear about their creative process and talk to them about their fandom for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting, too. And just the fact is that we actually get to touch on the community, too, as well. That is really big about the Seattle Seahawks. And, of course, their Super Bowl trip to Super Bowl 48, which is going to be just epic, like Paul was talking about. We can hardly wait. So, Oh, welcome back to Double Overtime Radio. I am Tim Gardner along with Mr. Paul Beyer. And so we have to hit our random shots coming up right now. And we have a special co-host coming in tonight. You know her. She is amazing. She's lovely. She's beautiful. And she's here with us for the next, so on minutes talking about, of course, our random shots and her thoughts on the rule changes in the NFL. It's the Sporty Diva, Pamela Michelle. How are you tonight?
I am doing fantastic, guys. Thanks so much for having me back again.
No, we'll see about that,
though. Being back on.
We'll see about that.
It gives me a hard time already.
Well, I will say this right now. Pamela, thank you. This was last notice. We really appreciate that. So, and we're going to go ahead and actually cut into this right now, and here's our random shots. I'm going to go ahead and start with it right now, and of course, Michael Jackson's going to go ahead and do PYT in the background as we talk about this. Here's random shots. Enjoy, guys.
For the young thing, PYT.
I think he's getting the Thriller album out. I think he's actually getting it out right now.
The album out. Nice. Is that on vinyl, guys?
There we go, guys. All right, guys. First question of the night. Here we go. Desert Island. And this is like an annoyance question. Who would you rather be trapped with on a desert island? Gilbert Gottfried or Fran Drescher?
Actually, that's an easy one. If I get to go first, it's got to be Fran Drescher because she's a girl. Why would I want to be with the human annoyance? Although he was hilarious in Beverly Hills Cop 2, it was 2. So there you go.
Well,
Pamela?
For me, it would have to be the nanny. I would want to be stuck with Fran Drescher way before Gilbert Gottfried. Just the sight of him and all I'm picturing is his scrunched up face in my mind, and I already want to punch it. So
I'm with you right there. We would be like there on a desert island. Like Gilbert Gottfried would be like, "So what do you think? What's going on?" I'm like, "Dude, leave me alone, please." And like Fran Drescher would be like, It would be really tough for me to actually pick that, but I would pick Fran Drescher, I guess, in some odd ways. So whatever, we'll go with that. All right, guys. Coming up now. All right. Superheroes right now. We got to do superheroes again one more time. Superman versus Iron Man. What do you guys like?
That's actually a really easy one because everything that Tony Stark has in his suit, it can't hurt Superman. He would have to go see Batman to get kryptonite, and that's just going to be is Batman going to give him the kryptonite that he has in his belt? I don't think he'd do business with Tony Stark. Inevitably, Tony Stark loses in a fight to Superman, probably gets beat up pretty bad, and goes and drinks off the bruises later.
I think so, too. You have to go with Superman. I mean, at least he can fly. I mean, Tony Stark had to build a, outfit to fly. Superman actually has actual superhero powers. It makes him an actual superhero.
The problem with that, Pam, and Paul, is that Tony Stark could actually afford literally a bag that has kryptonite in it, and he can teabag Superman. And that would actually ruin Superman's day, and he would die. So I'm sorry. I'm going with I don't know. I'm really going back and forth with this. I'm gonna go with Iron Man. Yes, I said that. So, ouch. All right. All right, guys. The Golden Girls. What's a better sitcom? The Golden Girls versus. Let's see. It's right now. Let's go for Designing Women. What do you guys got?
Oh, geez, Louise. Oh my gosh, that's almost impossible to answer. You know what? I'm gonna go with Designing Women, and the only reason, and I tell you this is crazy because I honestly don't think I ever saw one single show or episode, but I can tell you that I know that Hal Holbrook was in it, and I think he was married to one of the leads. And he was in Wall Street, one of my favorite movies of all time, and so therefore I'll give the kudos to Designing Women, Golden Girls. I literally I don't know, I have chills thinking about that as even a possibility, or being forced to watch over a long period of time.
I think it's just a matter of what your preference is. If you prefer, older ladies, going to live their last days out in the Florida sun, or if you just prefer Southern belles who are eventually going to end up in Miami being the Golden Girls. I mean, the Golden Girls really are just kind of designing women, 50 years into the future, minus the Southern accent. I actually have watched both shows. I have watched both shows, and I actually prefer the Golden Girls. I do.
I'm right there with you, because the Designing Women theme song really sucked really bad. And thank you for being a friend.
Everybody knows the Golden Girls theme song.
Thank you for being a friend.
Right, exactly. Even if you don't like the show, you know the Golden Girls theme song. Therefore, Golden Girls is a superior show.
But they're all like 900 years old.
Doesn't matter.
Well,
they're old, sassy women who eat cheesecake and talk about sex.
Did you say sexy?
Yeah.
And use Golden Girls in the same question, the same sentence?
I didn't say they were sexy. I said they were sassy.
Oh, okay.
Sassy, but hey guys, hold on. So my thing about this too as well, the X Factor of both shows, you have like a guy that was on that show that was actually he was a stylist who's actually feminine. So you can go with that, or you can go with Ma. Ma was fantastic because she would bust her lip and any will. So I'm gonna go with Ma and the Golden Girls every day of the week. There we go with that. All right, guys.
I think Tim. I think you know way too much about the Golden Girls. That's what I think.
I educated him beforehand.
Dude.
Oh.
I used to watch that with my grandparents when I was younger, and I was like, kill me now, please. But then I gained knowledge because it's about old women with testosterone. Yes, I said testosterone, so yes. Kill me now. But yes, I mean, old women, they're like, oh, we like these young men. And, of course, Rue McClanahan was she was like a sex beast. So I'm just going to say that. But anyway. Yeah.
See, you sexy.
All right, we're going to go on. Move on. Rue McClanahan was a sex beast off that show. She was intimidating because the fact is they're
He's killing Paul.
Oh God. Help me.
Oh, come on, Paul. Whatever. All right.
Next question. Next question.
Next question. Paul said earlier in the show, he's going to get a Winnebago and basically go back east for the Super Bowl. If you had to take a road trip with anybody that you want to, name 2 people that you want to in the celebrity world, and say that right now.
Well, you know what? I can tell you one of those people is easy. Charlie Sheen would definitely be in my rig. As for the second, I think I got to go with talent on that one. And I am now thinking and trying to put it together. I'm going to say the chick from Wolf of Wall Street. I have not seen the movie. I've just seen her, and I think she needs to be in my rig with Charlie and I doing all kinds of fun things.
Wow.
Charlie's driving, by the way.
What do you got?
What do I got? I'm trying to think. I think that I would probably... celebrities, I'm trying to think. I think I probably would want to go and drive cross country with Will Ferrell. I really do, because Will Ferrell makes me laugh, and if you're going to take a really long road trip, I really want somebody that's going to have fun and make me laugh. And then, let's see, you would probably want somebody else who could be maybe the muscle if you broke down or something, and I think I probably want John Cena. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go Will Ferrell and John Cena.
Well, that's a couple right there. That's a trio.
Right? There you go.
Trio.
Just me and my muscle and my funny man.
Hey, at least I got one guy on my rig.
I don't want a girl. I want all to myself.
So what character would Will Ferrell have to play?
What character? It
Yeah,
depends on the state we're in.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! All right. So my picks right now, after looking at this whole thing, I would actually have to pick somebody to be wise. For some reason, I think Cousin Eddie from National Anthem's Christmas Vacation would be like one of the guys that I actually choose. Even like we would really get into a really bad. The situation would be really terrible. The fact is, it's Cousin Eddie, and by the way, the crapper is full, so I'll say him. And jeez, I'm looking at this right now. Who would I? We could talk about. Looking at this right now. Jeez, why not? Let's do this. This is a tough one. Tom Hanks, why not? I'd rather sit there and talk to Tom Hanks about like every one of his shows he's ever been in. Forrest Gump, Captain Phillips, you name it. The guy's like knowledge. The fact is, if I bring somebody that's really hot, that's a woman, they're gonna go ahead and like get to a point where we're like in like Iowa, and they're gonna really bitch at me all night, and I just don't want to hear that. I'd rather have Tom Hanks, and I'd rather have, I'm sorry, I just rather have those two guys. There we go.
That's why Charlie's in the rig with me. He'll take care of that. Make sure she's up and ready to roll at all times.
Well, if he doesn't OG on coke by then, there, Paul, I'm sorry, man.
I got it all figured out. Don't worry.
You have it figured out. Gotcha. All right, gotcha. All right. So, if you were in a dark alley, we actually asked this question earlier in the year, but you're in a dark alley right now. You had to rely on somebody to actually, brawl with you. Who would you actually depend on right now? Would it rather be the two of the following people right now? Would it rather be Terrell Owens or Chad Ochocinco?
Oh, well, who's actually spent time in the pen, the federal penitentiary? I think I'd probably go with that guy. I think Chad Ochocinco, Chad Johnson, I think he's gone back to Johnson now. I think he's actually been arrested. I don't think Terrell has. So I'm going to go with Ochocinco and say, dude, take care of business. I got to roll. Peace out.
See, the reason why I probably would go the opposite way and go with T.O. is because I think that Chad Johnson would be too busy tweeting about it and wanting to know exactly who can program the GPS on his hybrid to try to find them to get them out of the situation. I think he'd be too busy on Twitter trying to figure out who can help them. So I think I would probably go with T.O. on that one.
He's the Emilio Estevez of Judgment Town, or whatever the name of that movie was. I got you.
Judgment Day.
Judgment Night. Judgment Night.
Don't get twisted there, folks. Yeah. I'd actually pick Cuba Gooding Jr. out of that, because Cuba Gooding Jr. is actually, I don't know. Anyways, why am I talking about Cuba Gooding Jr. and why are you talking about Emilio Estevez? I have no idea why.
Show me the money.
Oh, man, you're crazy. All right. All right, gotcha. All right, Mountain Dew or Sprite?
Sprite. That's an easy one.
Yeah,
it goes
Sprite.
with everything. It goes with everything.
Yeah,
Definitely
I like
Sprite.
Sprite too as well. I heard that like Mountain Dew causes low sterile count, so I don't know what that means, but I'm just gonna go with that. All right, guys. If you have to go to a place like for a good sandwich, where do you go to? That's a mainstream place. You go to Arby's or do you go to Subway?
That is actually tough because I love both. I haven't been to an Arby's in ever. But if you said, Paul, any sandwich from any one of those places, I'll tell you what, you can't beat a beef and cheddar. I'm sorry. You just can't do it. So I'm taking a beef and cheddar and going home with a Coke and some of those curly fries.
I haven't been to Arby's in forever because the one that we had over back east actually had closed down, so all there is Subway. So I would have to go with Subway.
What sandwich?
What sandwich? Probably the sweet chicken onion teriyaki.
Okay, well, there's a little action going on there.
So Pam, are you like RG3 before he actually got skipped out of those commercials?
It's the official sandwich of athletes everywhere. That's where I'm going.
Athletes everywhere. I love it. All right, guys. We got one last question before we have to go, and the last question is, the biggest thing is, all right, so if you are you're on a date right now, and somebody actually asks you about, that's the biggest question right now, about would you rather have them ask you about basically about your background, or would you rather basically ask, like, the dating question is really, really tough. I'm trying to phrase this really in a way that I know. So, like, you're on a date now. I'm not really good at actually phrasing dates, but my thing is that if you're on a first date, somebody actually asks you about your background versus, Paul, help me out with this, man. Like,
well, are you asking, like, what first question you ask on a date? Is that what you're saying?
When it comes to your background, yes, sir.
To my background. Okay, so if someone's asking me about myself, I'd probably say something along the lines of, I like people, I like to be around people, I like to be touched by people, and hopefully we can continue this conversation later tonight. Probably something along those lines.
Oh, gosh. Where's Barry Roy? We got Pamela here, though.
Oh, my gosh.
I thought that was a great one. I don't know.
That is, so, like, when you're asking about, like, the background, just, like, you as a general person, or you're talking about, like, your background? Is that what you're trying to talk about?
Yeah.
Was that what you're trying to get at and say, like, your extracurricular activity outside of,
It's a PG show.
I mean, like,
Pam. Yeah. I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said extracurricular activity that you've engaged in the past.
Well,
is that what you're trying?
Let's go with Paul's path, please. Let's go with that, please, because the fact is,
okay.
If so path radar, we don't want to know
that. So what I probably would say is that, I'm very talkative, I'm very fun, and I'm willing to do anything, and I'm very open-minded. That's what I would probably say.
Boring.
It's a generic answer. It has to be. On the first date, it has to be. It's almost like you're filling.
Share. You got to be funny. Got to be funny.
Oh, funny comes a little bit later.
Oh, see, mine's in the gutter, Pam. Mine's in the gutter.
My mind is clean, trust me.
Save her, Tim.
Oh, gosh. Well, Pam, we actually got Jake Rudenbar. He's going to be talking about, he's from the East Lake Community Church up here in the Northwest area. He's actually going to be talking about, of course, the new feature that he has, a new video talking about Seattle Seahawks. But, Pam, would you be willing to actually close the show out with us here a little bit later and give your opinions about, of course, topics of the week? Would you be willing to hang on that long? Or,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Or you gotta go?
No problem. I can hang on, guys.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. Thank you very much. And up next, we got Jake Rutenbauer at Jake Rutenbauer on Twitter, too, as well. We're looking forward to that, too, as well. Paul's going to go ahead and actually MC the beginning with that, and then we'll actually we'll look forward to that. So we'll see you guys in just a bit. This is Overtime Radio. I am Tim Gardner, along with Mr. Paul Byer and our special guest of the night, Pamela Michelle, the wonderful, lovely Pamela. So we'll see you guys in just a bit, and Here's some other tunes you guys will just see in just a bit. And welcome back to Double Overtime Radio. I am Tim Gardner along with Mr. Paul Beyer, and we have a special guest tonight. He is coming from the Eastlake Community Church, Mr. Jake Rutenbar, which is Rutenbar. You can follow him at Twitter at Jake Rutenbar. Jake, thank you so much for being on our show tonight. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, you guys. Thanks. I'm thrilled to get to hang out.
We are definitely thrilled to have you, Jake. I'm Paul, and again, thanks for our coming back to our request, and Jenna over there at the church.
Sure.
So, this is first of all, I've seen your videos, and we all have, and they're kind of a big little hit here in the area, Seattle area. But first, why don't you take a moment and introduce yourself to our audience, tell them a little bit about yourself, and also about your relationship with the Eastlake Community Church and how that all fits together.
Yeah, totally. Well, like you said, my name is Jake, and I am one of the pastors on staff at our church. Eastlake is a church that meets kind of in the greater Seattle area. We meet in multiple locations, and I'm a campus pastor, so we meet. I'm at a campus in Kirkland, but we have campuses kind of all over the area, and it's a really cool community of people that we've grown to love. So I'm just part of one of the many crazy people that's part of a cool church community.
And talk to us about your videos. I mean, like you've caused like quite a local phenomenon. Of course, we know you have a new video coming out here real soon. But the fact is, I mean, like you guys, this is great. Tell our audience about that.
So funny. Well, every time people say anything nice like that, it's hard for me to just hold back the giggles because we just consider it so ridiculous. Usually, the plan of this just started as stuff that we thought would be funny because we're fans of the team and love this area, and our friends liked it who we showed it to. So obviously, most churches make ridiculous rap videos that they put online. So we're just following status quo with this. So, it just was birthed out of us loving to joke around, loving to mess around, and having a lot of really talented friends who piece together, kind of all of us working together to make these things happen. And it's fun making people who enjoy them. That's been like added bonus.
The lovely woman that does most of the singing, the real singing. You're kind of the rap star, I know, but she is really talented. I'm sure she's already tried out for America's Got Talent or something like that, or your group will at some point in time. But,
totally.
The two previous videos you guys put together, I know, were huge successes, kind of cult hits here, Beast Mode and Coach Pete and Can't Stop the Seahawks, and I think they were also kind of healing. They always came out at the right time when someone needed to see them. And how has your group handled all the attention that's come with putting these videos together and the people in the area reacting to them?
That'd be so funny. Yeah, I mean, honestly, as you can hear in my voice, it's typically with a bit of laughter. Like, usually we'll be sitting around a Jack in the Box or McDonald's, some of my favorite establishments, and just laughing, going, there's no way that this many human beings have opened this up. It makes you question every video I see on YouTube, because I'm like, I can't imagine this many people watching this. But it's fun. I think very frankly, it's really honoring that people would even obviously share it with friends or think it's cool. So in that sense, it is very fun. But probably most of it is just we have so much fun laughing, making it, and whether it's watching games together during the season or seeing something funny, we're always just kind of gathering ideas and excited to do another video here coming out this week.
And your new project, which is called Super Bowl Winner, premieres Friday, which we're looking really forward to a lot. And describe what you can about it, and tell us, what goes into the creative process. I mean, again, I'm a former musician. I am a musician. Once you're a musician, but it really goes by fly about what you have in the top of your mind. But the fact is, I mean, for you guys, this is incredible. I mean, like, just what you guys are doing with the videos, the artistic display. I'm just impressed. I mean, what goes into that process?
Well, thanks, man. I was going to say first, I love you saying that. I studied in school to do TV and film production, and my goal was to get into sports radio. So I'm like hyper jealous of you guys getting to do this. I ended up working at a church, and you guys got the cool job. So we have a whole bunch, like I said, a whole bunch of cool people we get to work with. My dorky life growing up, caring way too much about hip-hop music led me to, between that and getting to gather together with my friends and just write down funny stuff, I've always explored kind of writing ideas like this. And then you mentioned our friend Leah, who sings at our campuses, and she got involved because our first video I ever tried to make, I was trying to sing it, and everybody was just staring at me, and we're like, that's horrible. This is not going to work. So but we have church members who volunteer their time. We have a great friend named Jason Jobs, who's a professional videographer who actually for work shoots stuff for the NFL and does great work. He volunteers his time to come help out with these projects. This is a great part of our community. We have our team, my buddy Jason and Grant. They help put together all the editing. In fact, they're up right now, up through the next 24 hours. They won't sleep, trying to crank to get this thing all pieced together and edited. So it really is a whole big team of us working together and editing stuff. We were up the other night after the game. A big crew of us was hanging out. Our friend Aaron ran audio. My friend Ryan was writing lyrics for it, and my buddy Peter was there. He was mainly just in charge of eating snacks, but it was it's just a fun kind of just people working together.
Jake, I know we have a clip of this song, The Winner, and I know that we're going to play it here. I think, Tim, you have it there in the board. It's at the bottom, so you can tune it up. When it's done, I'll come back and ask you the next question, okay?
Beautiful.
Absolutely. Yes. I'll go ahead and put that right now, guys. I mean, like, if that's okay with both you guys, we'll go ahead and make that work. So looking forward to it at the very bottom. So we'll make it work, and I'm excited. So here's Winner by East Lake Community Church. Great, great song. Here we go. Here's a sneak preview.
Down, cause we're the winners. It's time to move. It's time to dance. Because the Hawks are so much better. We are the ones you won't forget.
Wow.
And that was Winner by East. Yeah, that's great. That's a great, great tune. And elaborate on that, please do.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of times, obviously, we're it's not like we're writing our own instrumental stuff for that. So we'll grab songs that are currently popular and just do kind of parody stuff. And honestly, we're just thinking, man, as in the week before, we were just going, man, if we win this game as true Hawks fans, we spent much more of the week before the game worried about how horrible it would be if we ended up losing to the Niners at home. So we wasted most of our energy just in fear, but there was always this like, well, if we pull this thing off, or, you know, if the confident ones would be like, you know, when we win, we should do this and this and this. And so just a bunch of ideas, a lot of it enjoying the fact that we did get to stick it to our rivals down in Northern California, and having fun with that, and just laughing and joking and celebrating what's been a really cool thing for our city.
Well, Jake, I appreciate the fact that in your second preview you put out there on YouTube, you definitely took a bat to those Beats by Dre headphones. So thank you for doing that.
Absolutely, man.
Talking about this is kind of a cult sensation here in the area. People like this. I'm using cult, and I'm talking to a church pastor. First of all, what the heck is wrong with me? I apologize. But moving forward, the regional news, definitely, you've obviously had some people talk to you, I know, from around the area. And I wanted to know, first of all, Seahawk players, Seahawk organization, have you heard from anybody there? And is there any chance that you guys start kind of become a theme band for the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, you need to be careful because like I said, I'll just giggle, and then my kids would be way too excited for that to come true. Yeah, we have not in any realistic way. If anything, probably the highlight of my life was we got like a retweet, or Golden Tate put something on his Facebook page, and I quickly grabbed a screen capture of it and took it to my fantasy football league, because if there was any place I was going to represent and try and show off, it was with my dorky friends I played fantasy football with. But not directly. The Seahawks team, it's not like we're in any communication with them. We've had our video with like a whole bunch of other kind of fan videos. They had they paraded all the nerds like us who have done Hawks videos on the side and put us up on the website. But it's nice of them. I think a few different players. I think not this last one, the one before. I think Real Rob Report hit us up with a retweet or something. So we've gotten some of that, but not necessarily communication with the team directly.
Well, I mean, with all the hysteria going on with this right now, which is actually becoming a sensation, can we actually expect a new video and song after the Super Bowl? I would first start with my wife and kids, who would say no. They want Dad back home, and also my buddies at church who are like, you probably have to get some real work done too. But the plan is, at this point, we don't have anything. We are sleeping very little, getting this project ready. But at the same time, who knows what the wave of hysteria, what could happen. We obviously would be beyond excited if, and as I like to say, if and when the Hawks take care of the Broncos. So.
Not if. When is more like the.
Thank you, Paul. That's true.
Yeah. So Jake, let's step away from the music for just a second, and let's just talk some football. That's really what we want to talk about, right? You know.
Absolutely.
Well, first of all, let's just talk about this season for the Seattle Seahawks. What's your opinion of this year's team and us ranking up through the playoffs and going in now to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it's been an awesome season to get to watch. I feel like it's been a pretty unique deal to watch a team and have a sense of not panicking. I feel like there's so many different teams and seasons I've watched that are different. This team, I always have this sense, even when I'm panicked, I always go back to that Tampa Bay game. I remember sitting on the couch with my wife, being down 21-0 and just being pissed, but also just going, we've got this. We could piece this together. And I remember that feeling last year in the Atlanta game. If anything in the playoffs, that's what led me to just kind of be floored. So this season has been awesome. I feel fortunate to always be watching stuff going, I think we've got a chance to make our way through. And, the Saints game was scary. I wasn't thrilled with how our offense was playing down the stretch, but at the same time, it felt very calculated. We had kind of built ready to be ready for this situation where we could pound the run, let our defense do what they do. I could think of things that would make me feel better than watching the Niners drive down the field at the end of the game with a 6-point lead, but it seemed to work exactly kind of the way that John Schneider and Pete had drawn it up. So it's a very, very good team and just fun to watch.
And briefly, real quick, Jake, I mean, Richard Sherman and the criticizing that the national media actually has given him. And, with him, he was mic'd up tonight, too, as well, on Q13. You can listen to what he did. I think all of us up here in the Northwest, we know what's going on with Richard Sherman, and he's not the villain like they actually label him to be. Your thoughts on the situation with Richard Sherman and, how the national media and, of course, people around America actually portray him to be a thug or a type of guy that has some sort of a manner that is disrespectful to the NFL.
I was laughing a little bit going, man, if anybody cares what I think about this situation, I was laughing once again. There's a theme of me laughing at myself. One, I'd start by saying, man, I just am just a fan of the way Richard Sherman plays football and goes about it. That play he made on that ball was unreal. I was there. I got to go to the game on Sunday night, and I was up in the northeast corner. And from our corner in the 300 level, we could barely even see what happened. It was kind of a delayed response, seeing it was picked. And to watch the replay and felt like Crabtree got a pretty decent arm extension on him, and for him to even still get a full hand on that ball to knock it away was just unreal. He's just an unreal talent. And so I think there's been, 2 billion articles written by people much smarter than me over the last few days as far as what all the ramifications of that situation were. But, man, I just think this. I'm always thrilled being somebody who is with and around people all the time, part of a community that is built around people who mess up. Man, I'm sure glad there's not a mic in front of me all the time, because I would say some ridiculous things as well. So I felt like he was quick to point that out, and at the same time, I understand. I grew up playing sports, and I'm thrilled no one ever put a camera in front of me during a sporting event, especially as a younger guy. So yeah, he's a total stud in my book.
Jake, we have definitely appreciated you being on here with us. I know for just a short time, and you've stayed a little bit longer. We apologize for that, but thank you again.
Dude, you're great.
The last question here, and before we let you go, and again, we do want you to share with us all your contact information. Let everybody know, let the audience know about not only you, but also the church and anything that you could share with us about that. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty here. We got a big game. It's 11 days away. Seattle Seahawks, Denver Broncos, youngest team in the league versus the old man, the old river, Peyton Manning.
Yep.
What's your prediction on this big, huge Super Bowl 48?
Great. Well, of course, I got the Seahawks winning, and I went I went into it's going to be very similar to my prediction going to last week's game. I went back over to make sure before I jumped on your guys' show to not sound like an idiot. Everybody has hovered right around 20 points as far as a maximum that we'd have to push up against. So my final score, if I was going to put some out there, I'm going to say 34-23. Obviously, we're going up against a beastly offense. Any elements that we have going that day, well, I think will work in our favor. I can't wait to see, their receiving core is dirty out there in Denver, but it's just so fun to have guy after guy who are options who can line up in front of them. So seeing guys like Walter Thurman and Jeremy Lane shut down their third and fourth option is pretty ridiculous. So I can't wait for that. I'm sure they're going to sling it around. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm excited for us to play a defense that not quite as nasty as the last few we've played. So I like our chances out in the cold, and, man, it'll be a party when we win the Super Bowl.
Yes, it will. Go ahead, Tim.
No, I was just going to say it's going to be a huge party. It's just going to be something unfathomable because I have never experienced in my lifetime just a championship, which I'm going to be emotional like you never have ever seen in your life. But anyways, Paul, what were you about to say?
I just want to tell Jake this, that next time, Jake, anything new that you guys put out, do us a favor. Let Jenna know. Give me a shout on on the old Twitter or on email. Let us know. We'll get you back on the show. You're awesome. This is a real nice interview, and we really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
Jake,
thank you, Tim. You guys are great.
You guys are. Thank you so much again for being on. And again, we look forward to winning. Actually, you said Friday this week, right?
Winner.
Yep.
Winner.
We'll be releasing the video on Friday.
No, Jake, where can we follow you on Twitter, by the way, our listeners? Where can we follow you on there?
Yeah, if you on Twitter, you could find everything for the video. You could follow our Eastlake Church account, which is just Eastlake CC at Eastlake CC, and find out information there. And but don't. It's better to follow their Twitter. My Twitter is very boring. You could follow it, but you won't find much there. But check out theirs. And that'll be where the video is posted. The easiest thing, too, if you go to YouTube and just search Eastlake CC, you'll see the different videos that we've made on there. And, I'm glad you guys like it.
Great stuff. Thank you so much for being on our show, Jake. You've been great tonight, and we look forward to having you back on here in the future. Thank you.
You guys got it. Thanks.